Good evening, Javier Franco. Perspective from my porch. I'm not at my porch. My porch is actually in front of me. I'm sitting here at my recliner, my favorite recliner. I can sleep here. I can just rest here. I relax here. As tonight, I know it's late, and I'm going to try to post this as soon as possible. As I was sitting here thinking about, well, what can I say for this week? What can I talk about this week that would help people out, or just give you a peace of mind of something that's going on, or make you, or something that lets you think about it, something that makes you think about what life is going on. And I know right now things are really hard for a lot of people. I know that right now there's a lot of issues going around. There's a lot of stress going around, especially in our area, uh, because of something happening in one of our communities by us. And then there's a lot of questions going around. But as I was sitting here, I was thinking about different things, and I do a lot of thinking when I'm by myself, and sometimes that gets me in trouble. But I think I know everybody, a lot of people do the same thing. Um, let's look back at this week. Let's go back to what happened this week in your personal life. Even though there was a lot of negative things that were going on, even though there's a lot of negativity out there in in town or in community in your life, what's that positive that is occurring that you can reflect back on and smile? I know that it's hard for us a lot of times to find those things and to look for those things. And I know it's hard for us to focus on those things. And when they happen, sometimes they happen really fast. Sometimes they happen to a point that it's like, wow, wait a minute, what happened? You know, but the thing about it is that there's something positive in negative things. In negative situations, there's always a positive. It's hard to find it. I know it's hard to find it. I've been in that situation many times. Um, Recently, I've been applying for disability, and it's been a long process. But this week, for some reason, I've had a lot of trouble in walking. I don't know if it's the weather or if I did something wrong, but either way, and I was having trouble, and I was like, I told somebody, it looks like I'm digressing. It's like I'm going back to not being able to walk well, and I was doing so better. And they said, well, think about it. It might help you in getting your disability. And I started laughing. It was like, well, that's true. Um, but there's always a positive, even though sometimes it seems like a negative. In a strange way, it can be a positive. In a strange way, we have to find a positive, something to just make us smile, something to make us laugh. Um, Today, I was sitting at my flea market, and as I was sitting there, we hadn't had very much business at all, and that's not unusual, you know. But this young man walked in, and I saw him, and I said, "Hey, I know you." And he said, "Yes, you do, sir. You do know me." So we started talking, and it was one of the young people that I used to speak with that had a lot of trouble as a teenager, and we would constantly. He was, and he told his wife that he said, "Oh, he was a pretty rough guy. He was pretty tough on me," and he said he got me mad a lot. And I was like, and he says, "But you know, I guess it helped because I'm now a supervisor at so and so place." And even though in the past it was a negative experience for him that I would talk to him, now he looks back and says, well, I learned. Sometimes it's going to take a long time for you to learn something, but you're going to learn. You're going to find a way to get those things. Once you get to that point that there's positive, then you look back and say, oh, well, I learned so much. We all go through a lot of stuff, and we have to learn from our mistakes. We have to learn, and there's always a positive that we're going to learn something from our mistakes, that we're going to learn something to move us going forward. There's a positive for anything. Let's reflect back on this week. What else happened? What happened on Monday that you can look back and say, wow, that was a funny thing, or something did happen positive. There's a positive out there. Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm learning a new skill right now of tanning rattlesnakes. I'm going to tell you right now, and it's been a process. I've been studying it. I finally got to this point, and now I'm just anticipating to finish it out in 4 or 5 days. I'm hoping it's done, and hoping that it's done right. And when it does, even though the struggles that I got to that point, those struggles are going to be a positive because I overcame those struggles. There's a lot of things going on in our lives. There's a lot of things going on in our world, and I know it's hard to find those positive things. But I want you to reflect what positive came out of your life this week, even in the toughest of times. What positives came out of it? Like I said, our communities in this area, a few of our communities are going through a hard time because of the death of a young man. And as I listen to people, as I listen to kids, as I listen to some young people that come and talk to me, that have been talking to me, and I'm not a licensed counselor. I just I like to listen sometimes. I just like to sit and listen. Uh, One of the things that they talk about is how they have reacted to the situation and how the fun times that they remember with this young man has been. They're reflecting back on their lives and they're reflecting back on his life. And in a strange way, they're supportive and they're wondering what else could I have done. That's a positive. Even though the whole community is going through a very negative situation, there's got to be a positive. There has to be a positive. Something is going to be positive. We just have to find it. Reflect back on this week. There's something positive. I just saw a picture of a young lady that I dealt with many years ago, and she's graduating. And it's like, oh my gosh, everybody said she couldn't do it, she wouldn't do it, and now she's graduating. I was telling people I'm getting invitations to graduations. Recently, I heard one of them call me and said, "Hey, Javier, I'm graduated. I'm an RN now." I said, "Wow, awesome, great job." But also remember all the negative things that she went through to get to that place. But now she's happy because she has a great job now. There's a lot of positive. When we go through the negative, we have to go through that struggle. Simple as that. But when we pass that struggle, we see the positive. Sometimes we don't want to look at the positive. We don't see the positive. We don't think there's a positive. But trust me, there's a positive out there in something. There's always a positive in the negative. I want y'all to think and reflect back on this week. What happened this week that made you think, wow, there is a positive in life. And if you can't find it, then try it again this next week. Start today, start tomorrow, start on Sunday. Find those positives in your life. Remember, guys, love yourself because when you love yourself, you can accomplish anything. Love y'all, each one of y'all. We'll talk to y'all later. See you later next week. Bye bye.